Auckland Council is awaiting the outcome of a police investigation after a 59-year-old man died while riding a Lime e-scooter in the city last night. It's the first death associated with a scooter since they arrived in New Zealand 8 months ago. Auckland Councillor and former Mayor Christine Fletcher says the scooters need to be removed until more's known about what caused the accident. Auckland Council's Director of Regulatory Services, Craig Hobbs, joins me now. Good evening, Craig.
Yeah, good evening, Lisa.
What steps have been taken to immediately improve the safety of e-scooters on our streets, given this incident?
Yeah, look, Lisa, before I do that, can I just, on behalf of everyone at Auckland Council, just offer our condolences to the family and friends of the poor gentleman that died last night. I mean, it was a tragic situation, and we're certainly very saddened to hear about it. In terms of your question, at this stage, it's still early days. We don't know what caused the accident. We know that Lime and the police are working together to try and ascertain just what did happen, and we're really in their hands waiting for them to complete their investigation.
What consideration has been given to putting restrictions on Lime or e-scooters until you do know exactly what caused this death?
Yeah, I mean, our ability to regulate is really around them trading from the footpath. NZTA and the Ministry of Transport and Police obviously have regulatory authority over the roadways and footpaths. We have worked with those operators, to put some safety controls in around our trial. But at this stage, we have very limited ability to influence too much. But having said that, as I say, we are working with Lime, and we do know that Lime are looking to try and implement some more safety education over the next few days, safety messages on apps, emails to users, and some paid media as well.
So these scooters record data, right? So what have you been told about the data on this particular scooter?
Yeah, so that's with the police. My understanding is the police and Lime are working together to extract the data from the scooter so they can ascertain whether there was any abnormality or any issue with the scooter itself. As I say, at this stage, we really have no idea what caused the incident.
But they have reporting requirements to you as well if there are serious incidents, do they not?
Yeah, they do.
And this is classed as a serious incident, so they have a requirement to report to you within a certain time frame. So are you asking for this data yourself so you can see if there are any issues?
Yep, so they have an obligation to notify us immediately if there's a serious incident, with that, which they did, and then they have 48 hours to provide the data from the scooter. As I say, we've really been, preempted by the police investigation. At the end of the day, we're obviously going to support that investigation.
Of course, but given your arrangements with them, are you asking them to speed up the process to give you that data as soon as possible rather than within 48 hours, given the serious nature of the situation?
Yeah, and look, we want that data as soon as possible. As I say, I mean, at the end of the day, we are in the hands of the investigation, though, so the police will do their thing first. We would like Lime to, and we have been in contact with both police and Lime and want that information as soon as we can get it.
And as Lime said, it will give you that information as soon as possible?
Oh, yes, Lime are very, very cooperative. They are as saddened by this situation as we are, and want to make sure they understand what happened and identify any issues.
And without preempting what exactly did happen, will you tell us if that data from the scooter contains any information that we should know because of public safety issues? Will that be made public if that is the case?
I mean, we're a transparent organisation. We're bound by discoverable information. So, I mean, unless it's commercially sensitive, Lisa, I think we need to make that public. Make that public. I think Lime would probably want to do that as well. And I can't speak on their behalf. But again, obviously they would want to make sure that they have the trust of their users.
There was another incident today as well. A woman was severely injured. She was knocked unconscious, according to the reports. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and look, ironically, Deborah's a staff member. I visited her in hospital today. She stepped off a bus and got collected by a scooter user.
On the footpath, to be clear, yeah?
On the footpath, yes, correct. So I've been up to visit Deborah. She's doing okay. She's obviously pretty battered and knocked around, we're wishing her a speedy recovery.
That's the problem, isn't it? And that's a lot of the feedback that we're getting from people listening here is the speed and the sharing of the footpath is the issue. What can be done about that?
Yeah, and look, we're working with NZTA around that. We have some very clear ideas, around what could occur.
Like what?
We were really
specifically?
Well, as I say, we've already worked with the operators to govern speed in certain areas. We can't mandate that because we don't regulate that, but they've come to the party, so we have governed speed in high pedestrian
What about
areas.
footpath use, though?
Well, that's not us. That is NZTA. It's at the risk of sounding like I'm passing the buck. It's NZTA and Ministry of Transport, and we were very heartened to hear that Minister Twyford today made comment about looking at the regulatory framework and trying to improve that. So,
have you been on to them today, though? I understand that it's not you're not the regulator, but it's your city, right? And it's your visitors and people who are getting injured, like your own employee. So, have you called today and said, hey, something needs to be done about this urgently?
No, look, I haven't done that personally, but we've got ongoing dialogue with NZTA around micromobility as generally, because these things are coming thick and fast. We'll make the point that there's probably and we don't know, but there's probably as many privately owned e-scooters out there as there are rideshare ones. We have no control over that. That is an NZTA, MOT and police issue, and we are working with them and giving them our feedback on what we've learnt from our trials.
So are riders heeding the messages about safety and taking care around pedestrians, do you think, generally?
Well, since the second trial started, which was 1st of June, from memory now, we've had no reported incidents, and I made the point that we do have speed governing now. Certainly, helmets are being made available by some operators. There's a lot more education going out by the operators in their apps and so on. So, we have been heartened by that. Having said that, all I can talk to is about what's been reported, and unfortunately, as has probably occurred today with a couple of the situation that you mentioned with Deborah, we know that wasn't reported. We found out about it because she is a staff member, and we do encourage users or people who have an issue or an incident with a scooter to report it so we can capture that data and understand, the issues.
Craig, we're out of time, but very quickly, the two areas where these incidents happened, were they speed-controlled areas?
No, they weren't, Lisa. Those two aren't deemed high pedestrian traffic, so they weren't speed governed.
All right, appreciate your time. That is Craig Hobbs, who's the Auckland Council's Director of Regulatory Services there.